One of the hardest things in ministry is conflict resolution. There is conflict in the church. All churches have conflict. And when there's conflict in the church, it makes it very hard for me to preach with integrity, because as the leader, people often ask you to solve the problem. But we are all called to be very careful to make sure that conflict does not creep into our church. And when it does, we are called to silence it. Wow! Remember when you were in school and you'd be talking and disrupting the lesson? Well, maybe that's me confessing. And the teacher would call for silence. It hurt. It stung. But the teacher has a goal to share the word of whatever they're teaching with the students. And I was a terrible disruptor. In the same way, Paul says to Titus in verse 10 and 11, there are also many rebellious people, idle talkers, deceivers, especially those of the circumcision. They must be silenced, since they're upsetting whole families by teaching for sordid gain what is not right to teach. Paul is saying they didn't get their authority to teach, they're just taking authority and teaching. And in doing so, they are leading people astray and they're upsetting people. And they need to be silenced. Now, this is a really hard thing for the minister to do alone. Actually, the church needs to recognize and step in. Often we leave it up to the minister, who must still preach on Sunday. In my ministry, the number of times I've had to call somebody in privately and rebuke them for teaching unsound doctrine or for using the church for their own gain. I do it that way to protect their integrity. Sadly, so often they don't use the same rule. They go out and they tell the whole church, and the church believes it, and suddenly the church is upset and in conflict with me. That's why it's so important to relook at this. A colleague of mine said recently, in these situations, we need to bring it into the light. We need to bring it into the company of believers, and we need to deal with it. And if a person is one of these rebellious people, then we need to silence them, because more people have lost faith in church because of these people than anything else. I can deal with a lot, but it's not me who pays the price. It's the simple, everyday Christian. So as a church, we need to make sure that when a voice becomes loud that is not teaching the doctrine of our Lord or teaching the word of our Lord and just creating division, silence it. God bless and have a great day.